When it comes to the classical culinary arts, France is supreme. Sorry, USA. When it comes to the fancier type dishes, France has no shortage, and we believe that because of the trickier and more elegant parts of some of Europe's dishes, a lot of people think that you need crazy amounts of skill or resources to recreate them. That may not exactly be true. Today, we try and prove that wrong in the kitchen.
Today, we're going to explore a very simple recipe, one you can try right now. Meringue cookies, a melt-in-your-mouth confection that tastes like heaven. The tea time piece de resistance. Good take? Got that right?
Sure. You know what? Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Let's keep going.
I'm Stephanie, and my brother Steven is behind the camera, and this is Breaking Bread. Pew, pew, pew.
Let's save that for a Western episode, shall we? Like bear stew or something.
So, ingredients. What do you guys need? It should be on the screen somewhere. In 3, 2, 1, enter! Cue. So what are meringues, you ask? Meringue cookies are basically like wafers. They are very, very light and airy. They're really easy to hold. They're very, very airy. So basically, it's like a honey wafer or like vanilla wafers that you've tried. They're really sweet and they taste amazing, and it's for like a European dish for like tea time and stuff like that. They literally melt in your mouth. They taste so good. So let's get into it. To start our meringue mixture, we have to follow a very simple process of taking the yolks out of the whites of the egg. So I will be showing you a technique that I learned watching some baking videos that are very simple and very easy to get the yolks out of the whites. So let's start. You want to start by cracking an egg and letting only the whites fall out into the bowl. Don't just drop it all in like usual. Balance the yolk properly between the two eggshells, moving it back and forth until you extract all the whites you can. Then pour the yolk into another bowl and repeat a couple of times. And you're good. Oh no, I let a yolk go by into the bowl of egg whites. If that happens, don't worry about it too much. I made the same mistake and it didn't affect the overall outcome. So now we have our yolks in one bowl. One is like completely broken. And then we have our whites in another bowl. We don't talk about that. Okay, so now they're ready. Let's eat them. No, I'm kidding. Don't ever eat this raw. It's not good for you. Now we have to whisk up our egg whites. I have no idea if this is gonna work because I've never seen this work. So let's hope it works. So yeah, it doesn't work. You should not try whisking egg whites as I did. I don't know why I did that, and the fun fact is I knew it would not work. But I didn't put 2 and 2 together at that second. So you have to use some electric mixer or something like that to get it right. You're gonna watch us realize that very soon. So an interesting thing happened this past week. We met up with some family, and it was cool to be all together. And we noticed something that was always really special about food when it comes to family. The connection it has to our hearts, and the way it brings people together. For us, whenever we meet with family, there's always that process of baking something or prepping dinner together.
And eating it, of course.
Yeah, exactly. all of that is super special and is why we do what we do. We're all breaking bread together on this channel, and that kind of makes us family. So I've obviously been trying this for a while and it's not really working. It's still the same consistency as egg whites. So I think what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go get the big gun. I need some help here.
Coming. I'm coming.
Knowing my brother, he probably took a video of what happened, so whatever. But now we're gonna take the egg whites because they're obviously not doing what they need to be, which is becoming really frothy, and it's not very frothy here. So we're just gonna add it in here. Ugh.
Looks kind of tasty.
What? How is this tasty? No.
Fine.
But I'm gonna put it to a higher speed because this really needs to become like a marshmallowy, fluffy kind of texture. So I'm gonna be putting it to like a 6 maybe, or like a 4. Now I have paused her for a second so that she can just cool down.
Her, she.
Yeah, it's not an it. It's not a machine.
That's exactly what it is.
Shh. This is 1 cup of powdered sugar, but if you do it the way that I'm doing it, you'll get very airy, nice desserts. If you just dump in all of it, you'll still get it, but it won't be as good as it could be. So I suggest you do it this way. This is where I learned it. So you kind of have to take a little bit and you have to tap it in. You have to put a little bit, like by a little bit, and you have to finish this entire bowl because this is 1 cup. It takes a long time, but it's definitely worth it. Obviously, we have a very exciting process here. Very, very exciting. But I think it'll be better if we just finish this process of taking the powdered sugar. You can take a little bit. I put a lot in this, but like, you just take it, tap it in while the mixer's going, and we'll come back to you. This takes a while. Hey, voiceover Steffi is back to everyone. So what we've done is we've paused the mixer after shaking in all of our powdered sugar. And now we're adding the rest of our ingredients. A pinch of salt, measured vanilla extract, and lemon juice. Okay, now I'm just gonna put it for a little bit longer. Hey guys, as you can see, our setup is a little different and we're back. And also, our mixture is finally ready. So we're just gonna show you a few things that you can do to check if it's ready. So one thing is when you pull it up, oh God, it's so heavy. It shouldn't be falling like a ribbon or anything like that. It should be a stiff peak, and this is what a stiff peak should look like. And then another thing that you can do is, I'm gonna take my finger, just gonna take a little bit of it, a little bit of that mixture, and I'm just gonna rub it, and it should be like, if you've ever made homemade like marshmallows or anything, it's really, really soft, no gritty stuff there. So it's very, very soft, right? And also, if it's too runny and you don't know what to do and you've been mixing for a really long time, one thing that you can add, or 2 things, is corn flour. I didn't use that, but I used powdered sugar. One time I made it, it did not work, and I just added a little bit more powdered sugar, and it worked perfectly, and it became the consistency that it needs to. So that are the 2 tests you can do to check if they're ready. Now we are ready to pipe it, but first I'm gonna wash my hands. Why is this so heavy? But now it's time for the most annoying part. Well, it looks very pretty, but it's really annoying. But it's now time to pipe. Okay,
What does that mean exactly?
Basically, we've got a piping bag here. I'm gonna have to cut off the tip. I have this tip right here that I'm gonna put in. I'm putting the star tip because that's what I like. So I'm gonna be putting a star tip in. And then we're also gonna put some parchment paper and we're gonna be piping the little cookies. I get that not everyone has a piping bag and frosting tip at home. So as we follow along with this next bit of advice for those who are using pastry bags, all of you that aren't using those things can use some creativity and figure out how to use stuff at home to create some meringue cookies. There's ways to create pastry bags from Ziploc bags, and there are plenty more methods you could figure out based on what you have. Be creative and figure out what works best for you. So the first thing you have to do is take a scissor. I have my piping bag right here, and you're gonna cut off a little bit. Don't cut off too much or else you'll have to take another bag because the tip will just fall right through. So you won't be able to do that, so I'm just gonna cut like right here. Okay, that should be good. I'm gonna take this tip that I have. It's a star tip, and you have to just slide it down. My hand is inside, just sliding it down. Then you can also take your fingers and just go like this. So now I have cut a little hole. I've put my tip from the top, and I went all the way down, and now the tip is kind of like a little bit out. I don't know if you can see it because it's clear, but yeah. I'm gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna take the mixture right here. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it there. Okay, so now we've spread some parchment paper on the 4 dots that we made with our mixture. And it acts like a glue that holds it down. So when you're piping, it doesn't move around and make it really hard to pipe. But this will make it easier to pipe. So I'm gonna start now. So basically, you're just gonna press and lift. So now I have finished piping all of my cookies, and now we're gonna go into the oven for an hour at 200 degrees. So let's go. You thought I was actually gonna put it in, didn't you? You should always have someone older than you to put it in for you.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
Je m'appelle
sterexscribbles.
I don't know what that means.
To be frank, neither do I. Alright, now we're ready to try out these meringue cookies. Even during the shoot, while we were recording, I always had trouble saying the name of these things for some reason. It's not even a difficult name.
Yeah, it's just meringue cookies.
Meringue cookies, okay. We're gonna try out these meringue cookies. Now, to be fair, first impressions, when you look at them, they don't really look like cookies. They're kind of just white.
They're like
white, decorated white wafers, if you will.
You guys can also color your egg mixture, or what am I saying? The meringue mixture before you start, and you'll get colored ones too.
True, but I feel like the white is kind of authentic. These things are super pretty, actually. They're really fun to look at. They're like, honestly, kind of satisfying to look at, if you know what I mean. These little bite-sized cookies that have this absolutely this delicious looking decoration, this delicious looking exterior, if you will, and I think that's really cool. And I think we'll try them. I don't think there's much else to say until we actually get one into our mouths.
You're not supposed to bite it.
Hmm?
You're not supposed to bite it. You're supposed to suck on it. It'll melt.
It's like a 9-year-old's version of this, but wow. Honestly, just wow. I mean, as soon as you put it in your mouth, you can feel the juices kind of. I feel like juices is a weird word.
No, it's like it'll literally like melt.
Yeah, I mean this snack is the definition of melt in your mouth. I mean, one of the most fun things to do with this, I realized, is just leave it on your tongue for some time, and you can kind of feel. It's almost like your tongue is made out of acid, and it's kind of like slowly slowly drilling its way through the cookie. Okay, this analogy got away from me. This metaphor got super weird, not gonna lie.
That's weird. Okay.
But like, if
just eat it like a 9. I'm a 9.
From the first bite alone, you can tell that it's just packed with this sweet flavor. It's like this homemade sweet flavor that you don't get anywhere else, honestly. I'm pretty sure when people most likely eat snacks at tea time.
Yeah, you just kind of like.
Yeah, it's filled with cookies and chips and all that stuff. But this brings a more elegant feature to your tea time snacks. It's not just cookies or chips or just tea. It's something, how you say, as the French say, this brings a certain elegance to tea time that you would not have had before. And it's especially a great snack to serve when you have people coming over.
It's really simple too.
Yeah, it's really simple. It only took about 5 ingredients, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was just about to say
5 ingredients. It's a 5-ingredient recipe that comes out in these little bite-sized chunks, super airy, super light. We're gonna continue to eat these. Hopefully we're gonna get our actual tea drinker in the house. My father, who's the only one who really drinks tea at tea time. Hopefully we're gonna get his opinion on this after we turn off the camera. But per usual, amazing dish, 10 out of 10. Or are we doing number rankings? Because if we're doing number rankings, I have to go a lot more into detail. Or just prefer to keep eating.
Just keep eating.
Yeah, let's just keep eating. All right, we'll see you guys later.
What do you say bye?
How do you say bye in French? Au revoir?
Au revoir.
I think so.
A reservoir?
Sorry if that's wrong.
Sorry. So, meringue cookies, absolute hit, especially if you have someone coming over for tea. It's elegant, it's bite-sized, and it feels like you're eating clouds. That's the best way I can describe it in just one sentence. We'll see you all very, very soon. Make sure to check us all out on social media. We really appreciate your support. We thank you guys for watching so far, and we hope that you try out your own experiments with this delectable European snack in your own households. We'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.